guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot in the Pagan Perspective. My hands smell like grapefruit essential oil. It's fantastic. Sorry, that's not relevant. But this week's topic is on pagan and religious concepts, I guess you would say. I'm going to read the questions in their entirety and then answer because these are kind of in-depth questions. The first one comes from Dikka. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It says, "Hello, I found your channel today and I'm already binging on it. I wanted to ask a question that I don't see discussed a lot and I've only seen mentioned here and there with a line or two. Can there be a pagan that does not take it as a religion? I've seen that there are wiccans that have the idea for a god and goddess just as a symbol through which to act, since it's easier for the mind to understand a higher power, but was still represented as a branch of that and not of witchcraft. I am not interested in Wicca in general, but I've only seen it, it's the only place I've seen it discussed. I'm just beginning so far, only trying to learn what things are and how they work, etc. before I decide what path to take, and even though I do feel some kind of a connection with different, let's call them images, but I'm not so certain I can take them as an actual godlike creature, as I'm used to people around me to talking about the Christian idea of God. I would love to hear what you think and get some tips on where to look for information about such a type of thing." Okay. First off, I'm going to say a general rule of reference, and I know it gets a lot of flack out there, and although it is a good encyclopedia of sorts, it's totally not a be-all end-all. And yes, you guys have seen it before, Solitary Witch. And the reason I suggest that is not necessarily because I think you should go out and buy it and have it in your library. It is a wonderful source. But if you look in the back, she has like 4 pages of bibliography. There are a ton of books. I don't know if any of them specifically reference to the idea of God and how to view God, and I think it's more of a personal search, a personal way of coming to deity. You kind of have to come to deity in your own way of seeing that figure, whether you call them a god or goddess or just deity. It's really irrelevant what you call them. It's more about the energy and the concept that you have of who they are or what they are, and the energies that you share with one another. And let me make this very clear before I go on, that your gods and goddesses, they are not any different or any less of a being than any other concept of a deity out there. As you guys know, I'm a Christo-pagan, so I do deal a lot with the Christian aspect of my path. I also deal a lot with the pagan aspect of my path. So let me tell you that there should be no Christian out there saying what exactly deity is, because truthfully, they don't even know. So I just want to caveat to that and give you that reference. As far as taking a deity as a like statue figure, a central point that I can wrap my head around, yes, if you look behind me, if it's in the frame, I don't even know, you will see a crucifix. That is what in my practice relates to God. It's something that I can focus on, that I can have the way of wrapping my head around who God really is, because I think that deity, no matter if you call them God, goddess, the great big spaghetti monster in the sky, it doesn't really matter what you call them. I think the concept of deity in general, whether it's pagan or Christian, is a lot more deep than we can ever really know. And this is basically, it's a piece of wood, but it's something that I can relate to, it's something that I can hold, it's something tangible that I can actually wrap my head around. So yeah, and eventually I will get Sophia over here. I just have to find the perfect statue. If you guys have seen one, please let me know, because I've only seen one and I kind of like it, but I don't know if they do international shipping. So if you guys have seen anything like that, please let me know. And that's it for that question. The next one comes from Who Sees Who, which I kind of really love that screen name, because who really does see who? So just a little caveat on that, I really do like your screen name there. And they write, I'm an atheist who is extremely interested in paganism, but atheism means believing in no deities. So how do you explain this? I'm sincerely searching for answers. And I have to applaud you for one, for coming forward and actually asking a question and actually having an open mind. Sometimes you don't see that. I'm only speaking from the atheists that I've met. A lot of them don't even want to be open to the idea, and that's okay. That's their stuff to deal with. So I really want to applaud you for even having the openness of mind to seek out what a different type of practice may hold true for you. So I want to applaud that for one. For two, I want to say I'm not really sure I can really relate anything to the idea of atheism, because, and I'll tell you this, it scares the crap out of me to envision that there may be no deity out there. It's always something that I've had deep inside me, that I like, that small knowing that there is a deity out there, at least in my belief. So I can't really say as far as that. However, if you're interested in the magical aspect of paganism, the actual practice of energy work, stuff like that, then I would reference you back to Einstein and to quantum physics. Start looking into that stuff, because basically we're all made up of energy, and we all have these molecules that we're made up of. And whenever you get down to the nitty-gritty of what magic is, at least the way that I see it, is that it's the moving of energy from one way to another, and contorting it and putting it back together the way that you want it to be, and then sending that out. And there's a lot of energy concept that is in quantum physics, and I haven't read this reference, and I haven't watched the movie of it, but it's called What the Bleep Do We Know? I would invite you to go check that out. It's a reference that has been referenced to me a couple times. I just haven't gotten around to either read it or watch it. So I would invite you to go and watch that if you have access to it. Another thing that I would like you to consider is the concepts of, why don't you believe in deity, or is it something that you're open to let come into your life? I think whenever you get down to the nitty-gritty of what paganism is, I think you'll discover that it's really full of more questions than answers. But it's a continual journey. It's that progressing on the path that you're meant to be on, the path that either has been set out, if that's part of your beliefs, or the path that you are forging ahead. So it's really a lot of introspective work, and what it really means to you, and what it means for you to be part of the world in general. At least in my view of it. And, I mean, other people are going to have other views. That's why it's called the pagan perspective. We all have different views, we all have different things that we want to achieve, and we all have different ways of which to achieve them. So I would really ask, what in paganism works for you? What doesn't work for you? Why doesn't it work for you? And why does it work for you, if it does? So really scrutinize with the questions of why it does or doesn't work for you. Stuff like that. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I'm going to have to edit this down. Car's going to yell at me because it's going to be like later in the day on Monday. It's now going into Tuesday, and I have to be going to work here soon. So hopefully I can get this edited before I go to work and get it uploaded whenever I come back. And it'll still be Monday Eastern Standard Time. So, Car, please don't yell at me. I accidentally deleted this video before, so I kind of had to redo it, and I was extremely exhausted. So, with all that said, I wish you guys love, hugs, ladybugs. Bye-bye.